So being patient and giving people the ability to go deeper when they want to go deeper, but then also just having a consistency of exposing people to information. And over a period of time, I think as we mature, we end up looking for these tools because we need them. But if I say, hey, this would be really good for you in the next 5 years, here's 5 tools to help you, and you don't have those problems right now, you're going to look at me and go, that doesn't solve anything that I have right now, so I don't care about those tools. But you and I both know a life preserver is only valuable if you're in the middle of the ocean and you're sinking. As soon as you're in the ocean, you're going to be looking for that life preserver. And if you know that you were exposed to a life preserver 2-3 years ago, you might have a little bit more curiosity in someone throwing you a lifeline while you're in the water.
Yeah, 100%, man. So when you're hiring individuals, I'm bringing it back to my story, and I want you to jump on and share me your perspective. In the real estate game, when the team leader has to hire agents, it's a little different. It's commission only. It's you eat what you hunt. It's a different world, different perspective, different mindset. In the aesthetic industry that I'm in right now, it's an hourly wage, young individuals, big dreams. So it's a different, again, mindset, different perspective. I tend to hire a person based on their values and the culture they bring, instead of the skill set as much. My old mentor told me one time, hey, you can always teach the skill set. Of course, they should have the basic of it. If you have a salesperson coming in, they should know how to sell up to a certain point. But if they don't match the culture, don't hire them. What's your perspective on that?
100% line up with that.
Okay.
It's totally, it's culture first, skill set second. Or you could say character first, skill set second. There are obviously different positions in different places where the specialized skill set becomes extremely important, right? Like if you're doing surgery on somebody, well, we're not going to hire for character only. Like that would probably be irresponsible. But for the most part, usually the skill set can be secondary because the integrity and the character of the individual has a longer tail. There are usually more negative consequences from having toxic character, culture, integrity than there are if somebody just doesn't do the craft as good as somebody else. So that is an absolute filter that we use. Still to this day, we have 4 interviews before we hire somebody, and they go out with the team and they interact with the team that they're going to be on. We actually take them outside of the office to interact because we're not looking for what's on the resume. We're not looking what their job experience. We're looking to see how they interact with other people. What is the vibe people get? Do they have etiquette? Are they respectful? Are they pleasant? These are just simple, basic principles that get overlooked in the workplace. I think it was Napoleon Hill said, one of the most important things to a successful man or woman is having a pleasant personality. But nobody talks about that. Nobody says one of the most important things, KB, is if you just develop a pleasant personality. It's almost as if it's understood, so we don't say it, but it's not understood. I can't tell you how many young people have come into the business and they interact with clients and they're not pleasant and they don't make it. Because at the end of the day, there's these bottom line underlining principles in business or in just human interaction that are fundamental to having a good experience that we need to articulate to people because they just they take them for granted. Like etiquette. Etiquette is something that you usually get from your parents, but some people don't get etiquette from their parents. And if you don't have good etiquette, it's just such a gatekeeper to all the abundance of life. These simple subtleties that are not obvious to some people. And, it's one of the things it's been a high level conversation in our walls to say, how do we teach some of these things and not assume that people were given this, on their upbringing? Because you can't move on to level 3, 4, and 5 until you've mastered level 1 and 2. And these basic core fundamentals have way more of a negative consequence than skill sets of the craft, in my opinion.